So you've had loads of lessons on how to get out of bunkers, you've watched all the YouTube videos, but you get out on the golf course, you're on the 18th hole with a chance to get up and down to beat your mates, and that happens. So what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of your wedge, and we're going to look at the craziest wedge I've ever seen. Right, so we're back out on the 18th hole at Heron's Reach. Actually a beautiful, mild winter morning. Don't get many of them in the UK. So there's three key things that you need to do in a bunker. You need to have a nice big swing, you need to hit the sand first, and you need to kind of make sure the sand and the ball get out of the bunker onto the green. Now you're all aware of that, but this is what I tend to see golfers do. Okay, so golfers will set up. They're very aware they need to take that sand, but what they end up doing is almost taking so much sand that the sand only just gets out of the bunker, the ball only just gets out, and there's no lip on this bunker. So it's out of the bunker, but it's in trouble, poor lie, and the traditional wedge we're looking for, dirty as that is, that back edge of the club there is supposed to stop the club digging into the sand, but it didn't manage it on that shot, did it? And that's where this crazy wedge guarantees you get out of the bunker every single time, irrelevant of how bad your technique is. So we can see my beautiful Vokey wedge there. You can see how narrow that sole is. So as good as it is, it will still dig too much into the ground. So we get rid of that. And we look at this crazy alien wedge, big wide sole. That's gonna stop me digging into the sand too much. And like I said, it's gonna get the ball out every single time. Right, so this wedge in its various forms has sold over $200 million worth of product. So it's either amazing or there's been some great adverts. So I'm gonna hit a few different shots with very indifferent technique, and we're gonna see, they say it guarantees it gets you out of the bunker. Well, let's really, really put it to the test. So wow. I mean, that one possibly removed my body weight in sand. Probably with my wedge, that would have got here and I'd have had the same shot again. But that's actually out 10 foot away. And for a first effort, pretty impressed. So let's go again. And this is something I do see so much with golfers. They're so worried about hitting the ball first and thinning it over the green that they generally take too much sand. Now, the sand is hard and compact here, so there's not tons and tons, but that sole on the club there was absolutely amazing. So let's just see that wasn't a lucky one, shall we? Right, so it's out. So it's still holding up to what it said. Didn't get me on the green, but you can see again there, I have taken so much sand and I've actually got to the bottom of the bunker there. So let's go again. Not with great technique. It's out, it's high. Oh, that's easy. Now, while you're watching this, particularly if you're somebody who knows me, drop me a comment and be honest, is this potentially your new magic wedge out of bunkers? You'll know you are, so comment below and let me know if this is your new magic wedge. So, and again. And yeah, it really does. You can feel the club just glides through the sand, and that back edge of the club is really, really stopping the club dig into the sand. So you've got no fear of taking sand and you can almost be as aggressive as you want. So I think first test passed in the bunker, but what we did see with this wedge, covered in sand now, but it's also got a really, really unusual face. So we're gonna hit some chip shots and some pitch shots and see just how the crazy face maybe also really benefits your golf. Right, so we've seen how good it is out the bunkers. So now when you're getting into chipping and putting, you are looking to make contact with the ball first, which is where this very, very unusual club face, just with holes in it rather than grooves, might just come into its own. So traditional wedges are obviously grooves across the face, and everybody talks about how grooves create backspin. They don't. They actually just clean moisture and debris off the ball. So actually the more surface area that can get in contact with the ball, the more spin there is. So the beauty with this is look at the surface area there. So as long as our golf ball isn't too dirty or wet, we should start seeing lots and lots of backspin with this alien wedge. Right, so we've all done that, haven't we? And there's no worse feeling than being just off the edge of the green, chunking it, catching behind the ball, and the ball going absolutely nowhere. Now this is where the alien wedge actually could again be the perfect club for you if that is your bad chip shot. So, what we'd be looking for with the alien wedge is, yes, that face is going to help us get control, but if you're somebody who hits the ground first, you're not going to get the benefit of that face. This is where you still need all that help, and all that is going to stop the club digging into the ground. So now I'm going to show you, if you chunk your chips, why the alien wedge still could be perfect. I'm set up exactly the same way. I'm going to use the same technique I just used. And I could definitely feel that I caught the ground a little bit first there, but we can see hardly any divot down there because the club doesn't allow me to dig into the ground. You can have awful technique in the bunker, awful technique with chipping, and still get some great results. Right, so we've come down the 18th fairway, slightly longer shot into the green, and this is where we're now going to see the holes in the face. Are they going to create more spin on these longer shots into the green? Right then guys, so before I actually hit this shot into the green, if you want to see another video on how to create massive backspin, like the video, share it, comment below, and let me know, because it's something I'd really like to share with you guys. So we are about 50-55 yards from the flag. Now actually might have been a great time to have my laser rangefinder with me, but if you haven't checked that video out, pop over and look at that one, because that was really, really good. But I know I'm about 50 to 55 yards. Now, what we're looking for with this club is the holes in the face aren't going to create spin. But there's so much surface area there to create friction with the ball. Once I nip that golf ball, we should see a bit more backspin on this shot. That felt great. Now you can see there, I've taken quite a big divot, which is definitely something that I would do with my shots. And what I really love there, again, it's definitely the sole of the club, stopping the club dig into the ground. So I've just had a thought, how actually versatile is this wedge? So let's get a golf ball in that big chunky divot that I've just taken. Now most of you will have sleepless nights over these, and let's just see, does this wedge work out of even the most horrendous lie you could get? And it's another tick, absolutely Fantastic. Right, so it's starting to cloud over down in Blackpool, no big surprise there. But this super weird wedge, so far in all areas of short game, bunkers, chipping and pitching, is absolutely smashing it. So I thought, just to finish off, we'll come around the green, throw the ball in some different lies, hit some shots and see if it keeps performing. Okay, so we've come onto the chipping green. The course is getting busy now down at Heron's Reach. But I mean, all in all, this weird, crazy alien wedge actually performs really, really well. You know, I think even if you haven't got great technique, you can still get away with some very, very poor contact and get good shots. Now, I know what you're thinking because the thoughts entered my mind. If it's that good and that easy, why wouldn't you ever have seen something like this out on tour? Well, a big thing for me would be these guys have got good technique. They don't really struggle with it. So they're going to go for things that look and feel really for them. Now, my issue with this is feel-wise, it's okay. Not great. Looks-wise, absolutely not. I think it looks so weird, different. I think if you're somebody who's really, really struggling with technique, you will learn to love how this looks. Because if you're hitting good shots, you can get over that. But it couldn't go in my bag. Absolutely could not go in my bag compared to how this looks with the rest of my clubs. As good as it's performed, I would make myself work harder with the ones I've got because they are good and they work. I got to hit better shots with those. So it looks weird. It feels okay. It performs great. And if you struggle, you can get your hands on this one. But this is over 20 years old. I picked this up on eBay, but there's newer versions of this that you can get brand new, and it will definitely help your game. It's a little bit of a novelty club. Definitely not like having a chipper in your bag though. You know, if you've got a chipper in your bag, I'm definitely going to do a video that's going to help you on that. But if you are somebody that struggles with bunker shots especially, or chunking chips and pitches, an alien wedge could be a real game changer for you. Oh, that one's gone.